Number 10, how might we know when we have reached the very last days? You know, for me, friends, there are hundreds of signs. One of the most convincing, I told you opening night in the slide presentation, knowledge would increase. In this room are people who remember when there was no TV, let alone a VCR, no calculator watch. Airplanes were experimental. Automobiles could not outrun a horse. Supersonic transport was a train that went 35 miles an hour. That's right. Look at how knowledge has increased in this one generation. Daniel says that's in context of the last days. You know what else is very convincing? Matthew chapter 24, verse 14, I believe. The gospel of this kingdom will be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then the end will come. Could Jesus be more plain? He said the gospel will go to the whole world so everyone has an opportunity for a witness. They won't all necessarily believe, but they'll have a chance to believe. Then the end will come. Friends, I've been around the world, at least the northern hemisphere. Everywhere I've been, people are now exposed to the gospel. You can get the gospel in China, in printed form and on the radio. I did evangelistic meetings on an island in the South Pacific that's about as primitive as it gets. Any of you ever heard of Ponape? Ponape? Capital of Micronesia. Anyone here of Micronesia? I mean, people there still wear their birthday tuxedos. You drive around the island, it's all dirt road. Four-wheel drive, bouncing through mud holes, 350 inches of rain a year. I mean, this place is just, it's a paradise, except there's no beaches. It's a coral reef. I did an evangelistic meeting there, and as we went around the island, the natives have generators. There's no TV reception. They have one radio station on the island. They get second-rate reject American videos. You'll go to a village and they're running a generator at night and all the people gather around and they're watching Rambo and they don't even speak English. So when I left, I sent them a set of videos and the pastor wrote me back. He said, now everyone on the island's watching the Revelation seminar and they're using translators. The gospel's going to the whole world. I've been in Saudi Arabia where people live in tents and the goats are walking in and out of the house. There's a TV antenna sticking out of the top of the tent. The gospel is going to the whole world now through radio, ham radio, satellites. Do you realize that this very seminar in a few months is going to be broadcast on 2 satellites? We're hoping someday with 3 satellites, 3 angels broadcasting to reach the world. You know, it makes me think of a very interesting statement in the Bible where it says, I saw 3 angels flying in the midst of heaven, preaching the gospel. You ever seen a satellite? They're these cylinders that have these solar wings that spread out. We're going to be bouncing this seminar off the satellites, and it's going to go all over the world for people who have satellite dishes and downlinks. We're living in the last days. The gospel of the kingdom is going into all the world, and then the end will come. I don't think very many of us here are going to die of old age. Not only that, there's a lot of other prophecies about the last days. The spiritual temperature we'll be sharing during this seminar. America in Prophecy and some of the other lessons are coming. You'll have no doubt that we are privileged to be the generation that sees Jesus come. Don't you want to be ready, friends? I believe with all my heart and soul this is it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Number 11. Just how near is the Lord's coming?